Hi, folks. Dan Bird here with the Daily Scan Midday Update for the 19th of August, Tuesday. Interesting morning this morning. As always, I am not a financial advisor, so this is for educational purposes only. So let's take a look. You'll notice the ticker up here, how many red indicators there are. We're going to look at some of these. Some interesting things happening in the market today. So let's go take a look at the charts, and we'll look at the 10-minute charts first for the S&P and see what it's doing. Right down here for subscribers in the left-hand column. First, we'll look at the aggressive sectors, and you can see right here, market went down in the morning, went up right after that at 10 o'clock, and then started falling again, and now it's trying to claw its way back. So looks like in general, it is a downtrend. If you'll just look at the last couple of days all the way back to last Friday, you can pretty much draw a line across the tops right there and see the downtrend that we're in like that. Not a big one, but it is certainly heading down. So we'll see how this works out. So let's look at the sectors first. And you'll notice technology is down. Financials are up, but now pulling back. Discretionary started off higher, pulling back. That's, I think, is mostly due to home builders, interestingly enough. And Home Depot, I think, reported, and they had pretty good numbers. Communications down. Industrials is the big winner for today. Industrials is up. So that is interesting. Let's take a look and see if there's rotation going on over to the defensive sectors. Healthcare is flat. Staples is up. Energy up slightly. Utilities are up. Materials are up. So yes, the rotation is starting to occur, starting to head out of those growth areas, the aggressive sectors, and into the defensive sectors. We'll see how this plays out by the end of the day today. By the way, this is Tuesday, so I will be doing a Technical Tuesday this afternoon. And the topic today will be standard deviation. There was somebody yesterday that asked me about standard deviation, and I'm going to focus on that. There's some interesting indicators that you can use for that. So I'm going to talk about that this evening. That'll drop at about 7 p.m. Eastern time. So stay tuned. Let me know if there's any other topics you'd like me to discuss. But so far, it looks like the rotation is starting to occur out of aggressive and into defensive areas. This is the rotation chart. So you can see right there, growth versus value, definitely heading down. Discretionary versus staples, it was holding on. It's still pretty flat. So it's still holding in there. But that one looked like it's right on the precipice as well. Technology clearly heading down, semiconductors heading down, and internet heading down. So all the areas that usually support the market, the growth areas, are starting to roll over. And this is the Russell 2000, so small and mid caps. Russell 2000 is also heading lower, just like the rest. Money flow started off actually pretty good, and now it's starting to move lower. But take a look at this down here. This is growth versus value in the Russell 2000. This is large cap, definitely heading lower. Mid cap, definitely heading lower. Small cap, definitely heading lower. So in the morning, these were falling off a cliff, but the Russell 2000 was actually going higher. So that to me is indicating that it's bottom feeding. They're looking for all of those value stocks that had sold off a lot, hoping that the Russell 2000 is going to really start to move higher if there are rate cuts coming. We'll know more this Friday with Powell's Jackson Hole speech, of course. And that probably will move the market one way or the other. Now, it might delay it until Monday, but we'll see what happens at the end of the day Friday. But after the initial uptrend, the Russell is heading down as well, along with everything else. And then we'll look at the New York Stock Exchange also starting to move higher, but now heading down. And the trend is in bearish territory. You can see up here, advancers. This is an interesting way to look at this. You can see advancers minus decliners, which indicates there are more advancers than there are decliners right here. However, the up volume minus down volume was less. So more advancers, but lower volume. So not much conviction behind that move higher, behind this New York Stock Exchange NYSE move higher. There was not much conviction because volume was not keeping up. And in fact, down volume is actually outpacing up volume right now. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Let's go take a look at, I want to do the scan. I want to run a scan here this morning. And by the way, it's about 11:40 a.m. on the East Coast. So first one, I want to look at the optionable. These are stocks with weekly options. That usually means they have lots of liquidity. They're usually the larger cap names, the ones that have weekly options. So that's why I like to run it on these. And this is using the 21-day exponential moving average. I'm going to look at the bears first because I suspect there's going to be a lot of bears in here. Let's take a look at what we get. All right, so these are some familiar names, I think. Here's AMD below the 21 right now. So that's right on the edge. If the market continues to go down, if this does not reverse, this is the area where typically it does reverse, by the way. So back here, right at earnings, it went down right around to the 160 level. Right now it's at about 170, but it's a little bit below the 21. Boeing, same thing. CLS had been a really strong performer, also below the 21. Dollar Tree, GE Vernova, another really strong stock all the way through the year. You can see every time it comes back to the 21, right here, it bounces and goes higher. Well, it tried to do that again a couple of times last couple of days, and now it's pretty much collapsed. And for the first time, it actually is, let's go back here. So you notice the 5-day, 5 EMA right here. Even when the stock itself has come back to the 21 over and over again, the 5 never did. So all the way back here is when the 5 first went above. So back during this period in through here back in April when the whole market was collapsing. But for the first time now, the 5 is right on the edge, just getting ready. I think it may even cross over today. If not today, it's going to cross over tomorrow. Volume is pretty low, though, so that's good. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. Notice the momentum here with the squeeze. It just started a squeeze. That squeeze looks like it might be firing to the downside. And momentum is clearly just getting ready to go under zero right now. So that had been a very strong performer. So here's Meta. Meta's on the list, sitting right on the 21 right now. Marvell, right on the 50 in this case, actually went through the 21. And notice again the 5 getting ready to cross. That is my short-term indicator right there when the 5 crosses the 21. Microsoft, already below the 21, it has crossed. So it will get a short-term down signal today. Still above the 50 though. Cloudflare has been a really strong performer as well. Same thing. Below the 21, the 5 is getting ready to cross. Netflix is on the list. Netflix looked like it was trying to recover and make a comeback. And now big red candle today below the 21, closing below the 21. We'll see how it ends the day. I'll look at these again since I'm doing the Technical Tuesday. Oracle, below the 21. Palantir. I talked about Palantir yesterday. And I said it looked like it was heading to the 21. If you wanted to use that as an opportunity to get in, then put an order in at 170. Well, that order would have taken. I said also that it looks like it might close the gap right here. Put another order in at 160. Well, let's see. The low today was 161. So that one would not have taken yet, but it looks like it probably is going to. And then the last order I mentioned was down here at 150, where the 50-day is. So that looks like it's heading there. 5 is still pretty much above the 21, but if it continues like this, and this is a pretty significant rollover right there. Rocket Lab also has been a really great performer all year. 5 is below the 21. The price is closed below the 21. So same kind of thing. Let's look all the way back here. The 5 crossed above the 21 all the way back here in April and never went below it, except for now. Now it's heading below it. So have to be very careful right now. Silver, big downtrend on silver today. Taiwan semiconductors, so semiconductors, same thing. Block, talked about that before. Block has a big red candle today, right at the 21. Zoom video heading down. Just out of curiosity, let's look at NVIDIA. See what that looks like. Big red candle, but not, it's still above the 21, but that could be just one more day when that will hit this list as well. Let's see, what else do we want to look at? Eli Lilly, still trying to move higher. Amazon, let's just look at some of the big cap. Amazon still hanging in there. That looks pretty good. Costco trying to make a run up and then right now has a shooting star candle. So that's it for the bearish side. We can look at do the same thing on the bullish side for the ones that have weeklies. And what you'll see here, FedEx is in the industrial space. Hershey's is in the staples. Kraft is in staples. Marriott is discretionary. Amgen, of course, is healthcare. You can see right up here. It actually shows you right at the top of the screen. Healthcare, biotech. Resorts is discretionary. Gambling, Philip Morris. That's staples. Royal Caribbean is discretionary. So this, again, just reflects what I showed at the very beginning. These are the sectors that are doing well, but they're not the aggressive sectors. And there's industrials starting to move a little bit higher right there as well. And then the final one I want to look at is the candles. I want to see what we have here. Here are the candles right here. So let's start with the bearish reversal candles. These basically are going to show you either shooting star candles like this. Let's see, Fortinet. Fortinet is a bearish engulfing candle. So earnings sold off significantly, trying to make a comeback, and now bearish engulfing. That means today's candle completely engulfs yesterday's candle. And it's on the bearish side because it's a big red candle. And that's the scan I'm running too. It's bearish. Robinhood, bearish engulfing. Intel, trying to really do well. That's a shooting star candle. Lululemon, bearish engulfing. Rocket Lab, again, bearish engulfing after a shooting star. So shooting star first, and then you want confirmation. You can't get better confirmation for a potential start of a downtrend than a bearish engulfing candle right after a shooting star. SoFi, bearish engulfing. And Zoom video, also big bearish engulfing candle. And just for fun, let's look at the bullish side of these. These are the opposite. These are bullish engulfing or hammers. See if we have anything. Nothing. No bullish candles. So that's it for today. Be careful out there. It looks like the market is starting to roll over. Let's go back and look and see where we are. I'm trying to make a little comeback and then hit the 21. Actually, that's the 13, I think. Yeah, 13 to 65 is what I use in this chart. So went up right up to the blue line, couldn't get through it, and looks like it might be getting rejected there. Might continue to head lower. Just out of curiosity, before I close out, let's look at the VIX, see what the VIX is doing today. I think it's still below 17. Yeah, still below 17, and actually lower than it was yesterday. So the VIX is really not signaling that this is going to be anything extended, but we'll have to keep an eye on it because this could shoot up pretty quickly. But right now, it's pretty tame. Let's look at the volatility chart up here that shows the 3-month VIX with the 1-month VIX, and it is still extended, meaning it's saying that 3 months from now, there's going to be a lot more volatility than we have right now. Usually when this crosses back over, which it has not done yet, but when that crosses over, you can see these vertical lines right here. That's a lot of times where the downtrend begins. So still above the 21, but keep an eye on this. We'll look at this again each day and see what it's doing. All right, that's it for today. Looks like the market is not happy, starting to head lower. Unless you're short, then you will be happy. But stay tuned. We'll look at it again this evening when I do Technical Tuesday, which the topic will be standard deviation. I've got some really interesting things to show you tonight. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to take a look at. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.